We'll go ahead and get started with the August 12th Urban Experience Committee meeting. So we'll start with the monthly permit report with Tammy.
Good afternoon. So while June was a little down, we recovered in July, so you'll see some great numbers. So July was the highest month ever for housing units issued, with a total of 506 units. The previous record was 358 in August of 23. So, like I said, June was not good, but everything was just in review. So by July, we got a bunch of those out the door. 459 apartment units. Highest year-to-date job values of all times at $508.4 million. So we've already hit that $500 million mark, which we tend to hit closer to the end of the year. So that's good. Second highest year-to-date housing units issued at 853. So again, we're really seeing, things are picking back up. Things that have been in the queue are getting released. So all good things. July saw 5 of the largest projects issuing $107 million in job values, adding 451 housing units. 69% of July's solar applications used the Solar App Plus. So now we're going into month 2 of it. There's, we're finding little things that we need to fix, but we're working through it, working with the fire department to make sure everything's going smoothly and, no big hiccups. So that's good. Like I said, we're in the second month of using Solar App Plus. Permitting and licensing, we had a meeting last week with our new permitting system, sort of a pre-kickoff to kind of lay out our timeline. We're going to do a kickoff with the IT team and the major stakeholders at the end of this month. And in 10 to 12 months, we'll have a new system implemented. So high importance placed on our customer experience, making sure that the customer portal is easy to use, that they can get all of the information they need, that all of their projects are in one place. They can communicate directly through that portal to their review team. So that was our emphasis, is making sure that that customer experience was top notch and that they had everything at their fingertips and didn't have to go searching for it. We're still working on the fee study. Hope to have that report probably in the next week or two. Queuematic. So our old queue list system, that is how our customers queued and we kept track of them, went away. We implemented Queuematic, and so we're working through the bugs of that and hope to launch that September 1st. So we're doing kind of a soft launch in-house to make sure we all know how to use it appropriately, but it'll help us kind of track our numbers a little bit better, find out when our peak times during the day are. So total permit applications for July were up 13.5% increase over the previous 4-year averages. So that was good. Almost 400 more applications than the average of the previous 4 Julys. So again, residential is still going strong. Permits issued were up, 26%. So this is kind of what was in the queue, what was still being reviewed, has now gone out the door. Multifamily for the month, 459. It's 93% increase over other Julys, so that's good. Most apartments issued in 1 month, or permitted in 1 month, smashes the previous record of 324. So it went from 324 to 459. Single-family residences also came up. So again, this is kind of what was in the queue, but this is now what's been permitted. So up 38 for the month of July. Public and private job values. So 4-year average for private is high, public is down a little bit. Total residential year to date, we're at 853. So as you can see, this is even surpassing 2021. So we've been keeping up 22.8% increase. So single family back up, duplexes again starting to increase those again, keeping strong with the multifamily. Not as many change of uses right now. Residential units currently in plan review, so we've got 1,868. So some of these projects include the Peyton building conversion, that's 96 apartment units, Cora multifamilies, 88, 5M on 5 Miles, 48, Millennium Monroe Phase 2 is 43. So those are, some good sized projects. Again, duplexes were ramping back up, so we're seeing more of those come in. And then we still have another 2,100 units that we are expected to see coming in. So those have been identified through either the MFTE or pre-dev. So there's still projects coming in on the horizon. Here's the job values. So District 2 is seeing the most apartments right now. District 3 has the most duplexes. District 1 had Jubilant Hollister. So those are kind of how you see some of the numbers reflecting. Largest projects issued. Again, lots of residential. Jubilant at number 1. Frequency apartments did get issued. So these are the apartments up on the on Regal next to the South Sports Complex. They finally were issued, went out the door, so that's one that we'll keep an eye on. Home Depot, King Beverage, that was another big project, so that's a distribution center out by the airport. Haifumi Inn got permitted, so that one was an exciting one to get out the door last week. And these are the projects that are still in plan review, but as you can see, it's 1,000 residential units. The largest project that was submitted in July is the SIA Ground Transportation Center, so remodel to that area of the airport. So SIA has their new admin building in for review right now, and then they've also just now submitted the other end of the airport. So. Any questions?
Do you just, just by chance, do you know the timeline on number 10? And we can follow up later if not, but.
Yeah, they're prioritizing getting all of their engineering done so they can get that in the ground this year. So they've kind of let their plan review sit for a little bit so that they can spend all of their resources getting the engineering utility stuff ready to go for this construction season. But I'm happy to sit down with you and provide any more detail.
We'll chat more offline.
Okay.
I was going to ask Tammy a little bit more about the Adams Elementary. Is that just a remodel?
No, that is the replacement.
You're going to actually place it?
So we were just notified that the project manager at the school district for the Adams job is no longer there, so they're in the process of reassigning that. The architect is still working on the plan, so they're in a revision cycle right now, but we're still going to get it to permit, and then it'll be up to the school district to decide how they want to fit that into their budget.
Thank you.
Anybody else? All right. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much with that exciting update. Great to see lots of those projects moving forward.
Yes.
All right, our second item on the agenda is the 2024-2027 Fair Housing Plan with Kimberly Babb.
This resolution is to support a fair housing plan that is required by HUD and the Fair Housing Act. Since we receive home, CDBG, and ESG money, we're required to conduct analysis to the impediments of fair housing and a fair housing plan every 5 years. We contracted with Northwest Fair Housing Alliance to do that plan, and originally Marley was going to be here to go over her data, answer questions, but she had a conflict. She actually had a HUD conference conflict. So she will be here. She is able to come to the briefing session next week. And since you all are coming back from break, that also gives you time to go over this quite extensive analysis that they've done for us. And so this resolution is to support that. The Northwest Fair Housing Alliance conducted this plan to assist the city with compliance with its certifications and for use in our 2025 to 2029 consolidated plan. We're in the process of our community needs assessment. And we have scheduled time on the August 29th study session agenda to go over the consolidated plan and our progress to date on that. And on May 2nd, Marley from the Northwest Fair Housing Alliance gave an overview of the plan at the May 2nd CHH board meeting, and I included this presentation is from that. It's a condensed outline of the 300-page plan. And she went over her community engagement process. They did 2 surveys, one to housing providers and advocates, and one for housing consumers and their advocates. They did 2 public meetings with the plan on April 4th and April 6th. And the CHHS board held a public comment period on this plan from June 6th to July 5th, and they had a public comment hearing on July 3rd. There were no public comments, and at the July 3rd meeting, the CHHS board recommended to approve the plan to City Council. In this plan, the Northwest Fair Housing Alliance identified issues that fall under 7 categories, and that's on page 28 of your agenda packet. There's the summary of that. And they also outline 7 goals for these issues and strategies for addressing these goals. And in those strategies, they overlap with the priority strategies and actions from the Spokane Housing Plan and Appendix A, the City Council Implementation Plan. And so the CHHS department also uses this plan. We require all subrecipients of CDBG and home to affirmatively further fair housing, and they are required to use the fair housing logo and posters in all of their work. And we also review their marketing plans and tenant selection plans, rental applications for consistency with fair housing laws. And so. If you have any questions about this resolution, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and if you don't know, happy to just get an email offline. But just can you, one of the screens up there showed that part of this process was interviewing a number of organizations. Can you just identify who those organizations were that were a part of that interview process?
She identifies that in the plan, so I can send you all those notes.
Okay.
And then this will give you guys a week to review that plan, and then I can ask Marley to come next week at the briefing session.
That'd be helpful. Thank you.
Because there's a lot of great data in here, and she knows it best. And so since she wasn't able to be here today, I think that would be great if she could answer all your questions. Okay.
I was just going to say thank you. It really does have a lot of good information, and it's a different snapshot of our community than what we have seen before, especially around the demographics. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and CHHS will use this plan in our consolidated planning process, and then the Housing Action Subcommittee is also going to be putting this plan on their agenda for the next few months to look at those strategies and actions to advise the City Council.
Great, thank you very much. We'll go to item number 3, which I was down reading the report. Is with Ariel, it's the SBO for the street medicine grant. And the sole source process, too. And then while you're up here, we'll do the right-of-way one after that.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good afternoon. Yeah, I think I'm up here back to back for a couple of things. So this is in regards to the, before you all had gone on break, the healthcare authorities grant for $1 million to support street medicine in our community. And that identified organization was CHAZ. One of the things that I had highlighted is that this is a pilot program with 4 other counties on the west side that were identified. CHAZ, along with those other 4 counties and Mayor Brown, worked collaboratively with Challenge Seattle to effectively lobby and obtain these funds to either create or, kind of bolster existing street medicine teams throughout our state. So the one thing that makes Spokane unique is that, we don't have within our government, our system of government, a street medicine team. So Healthcare Authority can contract directly with those 4 other counties. Here, not so much. So, but that is why we are using CHAZ kind of consistently through what I've provided here for the sole source, obviously, but then previous to the discussion around the HCA and that grant that's coming down the pipe. So a couple of things before you today is the sole source SBO, the special budget ordinance. That's for a total of $1 million. $900,000 will be used for those contractual services that's with CHAZ, and then $100,000 will be set aside for just the administration of that contract for CHHS. Data will be entered into CMIS, and so there will be the ability to kind of monitor those enrollments and get a sense of individual stories throughout the time of the contract, and happy to share that out with council as we move forward. Any other questions on that, on the SBO? Yes.
Yeah, just other than getting a sense of things, I mean, is there any specific benchmarks they have to hit, specific expectations of number of folks served, what happens with those folks once they're served? I'm just trying to understand what is the guarantee when this contract is up of the number of folks that are no longer on the street or have been assisted through the medical side of things at least?
Sure. So I think some of those things are kind of TBD. This would be new, at least for the data collection in CMIS. So those funds that are being set aside, that $100,000 will go to creating a customized enrollment in CMIS, because again, this is not data that has historically been collected at this level. In terms of a specific number of households served, no, that has not been determined. So much of that is, dependent on what's out there in any given moment. And so when you think about street outreach, they're responding to camps, whether that's along the river or, within neighborhoods, and not just camps, but folks too that may be in vehicles or just, walking, may not even be stationary necessarily. So again, I think some of those numbers to be able to define the number of households is, not something that is currently being discussed. In terms of the services rendered, yes, that is going to be captured. And the hope, too, of course, as I had mentioned before, is trying to find, that exit to, whether it's housing, whether it's shelter, transitional housing, or some other facility, that will absolutely be captured. So, some of it is with our street outreach enrollment, some of it is duplicative with what they will be doing, but I think we can get a bit deeper for sure.
And just one follow-up.
Yeah.
Once they've rendered the medical service, what happens at that point? What's the, is that individual who's homeless left in that, location? Are they assisted to a shelter? Are they linked up with some organization to help them, improve their situation? What's the next steps?
Sure. So I think that depends on what the individual has communicated at the time. Certainly, when you're deployed, you are asking those questions. If they're outside, do you want connections to shelter? Is there? Are you ready for housing? Whether that is transitional, permanent, et cetera. So I think so much of it is really just dependent on what that individual communicates at the time of service.
Any other questions?
And then
Erin,
next,
I guess I have one more
yes.
question.
Okay.
How many staffers does this SBO support?
In terms of CHHS,
And
so
the outreach is as well, partnership with Chaz. So could they hire 2 more people or 3 more people or?
I want to say that they're going to, well, Shelby is here, actually.
Hi, all. Shelby Lambden, I'm the Health Equity Director at Chaz Health. So to answer your question, we currently have 3 full-time providers on our team, 1 registered nurse and 2 medical assistants. So with this expansion, we plan to add an additional 1.5 full-time FTE providers, a medical assistant, and an additional registered nurse position, in addition to our existing care coordinator, case management team that works collaboratively with other outreach organizations and agencies.
Does that 1.5 mean by provider, do you mean like a nurse practitioner or a doctor? Is that what a provider is?
Yeah, so it'll be most likely a nurse practitioner. We currently have 1 doctor on our team, and he's our lead physician. And then the rest of the staff who are providers are mid-level, so PAs and then nurse practitioners.
So we're saying street medicine, so is this confined to a specific geographic area of services?
Yeah, so currently we have a regular rotation to all of the main shelter sites in town. That's a regular set schedule. Part of the plan with this expansion will be to add Saturday hours. Currently, we're only operating Monday through Fridays. So we intend to add staff going out on Saturdays in addition to now having 3 teams going out throughout the week. Our plan is to also map out going to some main corridors where we know there's a lot of traffic of unhoused individuals, so we can be doing more regular outreach in those areas as well.
Also, congratulations on the Iron Bridge expansion over at Chaz. It was really exciting to see
you.
and be
Thank
there
you.
on Friday. And I'm curious, with the street medicine grant expansion also to Saturdays, does that also change the hours at all, like the time frames that they'll be on the ground during those days?
So Saturdays will remain from 7:30 to 5. Those are our current operating hours. And then a piece of adding an additional team throughout the week. We'll also have some later evening hours as well. So that'll be something with this expansion that we test stages of what that actually looks like. But the plan will be to have teams going out until 7 p.m., where we currently only have teams going out until 5.
And do you typically see kind of a peak of need or calls during the week, or is it just rolling kind of again throughout
Yeah,
each
definitely
day?
ebbs and flows. Yeah.
Great, thank you.
Any other on this topic, or are we ready for the next one? I think we're ready.
Okay, and then keeping in with the theme of sole source, the next one is the resolution. Any questions on that?
Then you got the right-of-way contract.
Yeah. And then we have the row amendment, SBO. This is looking to add an additional $1,871,523 in funding for the row initiative. $200,000 of that would be dedicated to staffing, HMIS, salaries, et cetera. And then the rest of it would be designated to the track shelter. Any questions on that?
Track, in what way is it dedicated to track?
So-
We've got a contract till October, so does this extend it further?
Yeah, it wouldn't, and it's not extending it. And Don is here to answer in a little bit more detail about that, but it is not to extend it.
Yeah, so these are funds that were committed in the initial financing of the road project in Spokane with the beginning of the closure of Camp Hope. So these funds were earmarked to operate track through the end of that fiscal year. There's been a three-cliff series here for these funds. So in the state fiscal year for 26, there are $0 allocated to track. These are funds that were allocated to track prior to this administration desiring to close the facility. The good news is that we've been in conversations with Commerce that there's potential for us to use those funds for other needs locally if we are successful in closing track at in the fall. So the hope here is to be able to utilize those funds on other initiatives should they not be utilized in the track contract, but that contract is already in existence.
It just seems to me the effort that's going to be required ongoing at Second and Division is so immense. I don't think there's enough funding, period, that's going to sort of deal with it. And so to divert funds, it just seems like when this is supposed to be the focus, I just wonder what the outcome is going to be.
This is completely separate from Second and Division.
But it's from the row, correct?
It is
And that's what we're using at Second and Division is the row?
Those were additional dollars from Commerce that they have allocated to fund that work, and those dollars are flowing through the Empire Health Foundation with their existing contract, not coming to the city.
Okay, so there's no overlay at all with the Second and Division then? This can't be used at that location?
If we have unspent funds in the city's allocation of road dollars, we have the initial conversations going with Commerce to pivot those dollars to other locations, yes. But the current effort at Second and Division are being passed through EHF.
Okay.
Yep, going on, Council President.
So, Don, I look forward to, we keep hearing that the track will be decommissioned by October, and we've just heard that. So really haven't had a more clear path forward of what that looks like. So just asking next time you're at the podium to really be prepared to explain that more to us, at least to me.
Yeah, and a big part of that is tied up in the launch of the Housing Navigation Center that will be at the 3:30 briefing. And we are meeting with TRAC again this week to create some of those more time-specific updates, and then I'm happy to come back and report out.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, the next item on the agenda, just have it, is the affordable housing funding recommendations with Heather.
Okay, so this is to talk about the Affordable Housing Development RFP that went out and was released May 15th. And it was a request for proposals for projects that increase or preserve the supply of affordable housing serving extremely low, so 30% area median income, low-income households below 60% of area median income in the city of Spokane. The projects selected for funding, they will either receive home funding or they will receive 1590 sales and uses tax revenue funds. So this is the timeline that we operated under. The RFP was publicly noticed in the Spokesman Review, the city's website, through email distribution lists. The online posting included links to the RFP, the scoring criteria, and the application. A technical assistance workshop was provided to interested applicants on May 28th. And then between May 15th and when it closed on June 28th, I provided an additional 10 individual technical assistance sessions with organizations. Not all 10 of those actually applied, but we did have 10 applications. The application then closed on June 28th. And I do want to point out here, the thing that is driving this entire RFP cycle is the Commerce application deadline of September 18th. So any applicant from the city of Spokane that wants to show that they have local support for an application with Commerce needs to have a local allocation letter for either home, CDBG, or 1590 funds, and that then helps their application to score better with the Commerce process. Whoops, wrong way. Okay, so the funds that we had in this RFP, we did have 1590 affordable housing development funds of $5,849,000. This was just for the capital or the development portion of 1590. There's a services RFP that closed gosh, I think like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and you'll see those recommendations coming in September. And then there's behavioral health facilities and services RFP that will be only 1590 money, and that won't come out until the winter. Then the rest of the funding for this RFP comes from the federal government, and so we have the 470,000 in home funds, and then another 795,000 that is also home funds, but they can only be used for a certified housing development organization, or I'm sorry, community housing development organization. We refer to these as CHODOs. The city of Spokane hasn't had a certified community housing development organization for several years, and so those funds have accumulated over time. We were fortunate enough in this RFP round to actually have a certified CHODO, so we're pretty excited about that. Oops. This is our process that we go through with affordable housing specifically. So we do review the funding source requirements, and we note those in an RFP template. We're doing some of this stuff at the same time. So we're meeting with community to gather feedback on needs and priorities, or we're using the needs and priorities that were identified in previous community meetings, because we do quite a bit of this with CDBG as well. And then CHH staff is working with the review committees, whether it's an RFP committee or whether it's the Affordable Housing Committee, to draft the RFP using the criteria, using the priorities that we received from feedback. We draft the scoring criteria with these committees, and then the scoring rubrics. And then the scoring rubrics, the criteria, and the draft RFP are all posted publicly. Then staff is also at the same time working with our grants management software vendor, Neighborly, to create or update the application depending on what it is that we're doing, and that typically takes about 4 to 6 weeks. This is why we didn't run the services application with the development application, because the services needed to be created from the beginning, and that takes the full 4 weeks. Then we publicly post and announce the RFP. We publicly post the application and the scoring rubric. We hold the technical assistance workshops. We hold the individual technical assistance. Then the application closes. So after the application closes, CHHS staff conducts threshold reviews of the application. In the case of affordable housing, specifically, we're looking that they meet the funding source requirements. Can they serve the populations that were identified, so the 60% AMI, and then there were specific populations that needed to be served as per 1590. And then with the home, are they meeting 30%, 50%? We also have to calculate out what the share of the city's amount into a project will be for home. We also need to look at whether or not they are meeting the there's per unit subsidy limits that we have to pay attention to as well. And so we did apply those per unit subsidy limits to the 1590 to keep things consistent. Once we've determined the eligibility and that we have complete applications, we forward those application packets, and in this case to a modified affordable housing committee, because we did include 2 members of the Housing Action Subcommittee in this review process. Then the Affordable Housing Committee, they reviewed the applications independently, they scored them independently, and then they met in a special meeting to discuss those scores and review the projects for selection of funding. Once that was done, it was submitted to the CHHS board to review all of the Affordable Housing Committee's information and then forwarded on for Urban Experience. So these are the projects that we received applications for. There were 10 projects. You should have this chart, I think, in your packet, right? Okay. And so the very last one did not get funded. It did not supply the budget, so we couldn't determine its eligibility. We did reach out to them twice and asked for that budget, and we just didn't receive a response back. So we did have a deadline. We did need to move on. The rest of them, though, you can see the scores. These are ranked in the table by score from highest to lowest. And there was a pretty distinct line between like the 5 highest scoring ones and then the rest of them, and the committee didn't struggle too much with that decision. They did feel that the average score of the whole committee was pretty accurate, and they went ahead and fully funded those top 5 projects. Then the next one, I think that was Hoffman Rehab. There was a little bit of debate on that one. It scored pretty high, and there was other funding in this project. So the $300,000 that the city's funding is only a portion of that entire rehab. And so then the committee felt pretty confident about funding that one at full funding as well. The last 3, or the lowest 3 scoring projects, there was some conversation around that and some discussion. And typically, Affordable Housing Committee doesn't recommend partial funding of projects because most of the projects that come to us are gap funding, like they're requesting gap funding. So they've already proposed everything that they're going to put out there. They've already had discussion with other funders. They already know what they can get or can't get, and so they're really coming to us to fill a gap. And so that's why we typically fully fund if we can. In this case, they couldn't justify fully funding 2 of those lowest scoring projects, but they wanted to recognize that this was a highly competitive process this time around. We had a lot of really great applications, and so they chose to partially fund the last 2. You'll notice the Centerstone Apartments for $767,888. They chose to fully fund that, even though it was one of the lower scoring ones. And it did score a little bit lower because the city is the only funding source in it. And so that raised a little bit of a flag, but they chose to fully fund it because there is a, October 1st, they have to address a fire code issue. Everything was in code when it was built. It has been for years, but now they have reached a point where it's no longer in code, and they have until October 1st to fill it. This is a vulnerable population of chronically mentally ill patients, or sorry, not patients, but tenants, and there's not a lot of other places for this group of tenants. And so that is one of the reasons the Affordable Housing Committee chose to fully fund it, even though they may have scored just a little bit lower. Okay, so any questions about this piece? Yes.
Yeah, a couple. First off, the single-family house. What's the logic of essentially building a single-family house? And I caveat that with, it's a 5,000 square foot lot, which to me kind of goes against much of what we have been as a council pushing for, which is smaller housing, more density. And so I'm just wondering, what's the logic behind funding something like that?
So with that particular Spokane Townhomes and Spokane Dynamic Construction, one of the things that we asked folks to do in this RFP is to look at partnerships to encourage smaller organizations to come into the affordable housing development arena. So the Spokane Dynamic Construction is a startup, basically, organization. They've been involved in the affordable housing arena for a long time. They've been managing different aspects for Spokane Townhomes, and now they're doing their own. The Affordable Housing Committee really liked the single home projects, especially the larger ones that were directed at potentially multi-generational families, because there's a shortage of that sort of housing. So that's why it ended up ranking so high. It's just because it's filling a gap that's not being filled.
So this particular one, will this go in to ownership then for a low-income family? Is that the plan?
It will not this one. There are others in that development that we are not funding or putting any money in that will go into single-family
So that
homeownership.
leads me to my next point, which is the code talks about priorities around ownership, which was not in the RFP, and it also includes priorities around mixed uses, which was also not in the RFP. And so I'm just wondering, did we actually get any submittals related to either of those, given that this council felt strongly enough to put it into code that they should be priorities?
So we did get 2 applications for scattered site single-family home ownership. One of them was that project that didn't submit any budget, and so we weren't able to move it forward. The second one was the Habitat for Humanity project. And it did move forward for $1 million in funding. So there's that piece. And then a lot of the other projects that ranked higher were ones that were built within the geographical area that were specified by the 1590 code. regarding like close to transit lines and stores and shopping and services and things like that. So that was considered as part of the scoring, and it is actually considered as part of the underwriting process for HUD. So we already have to consider that.
And then just the last one, could you just, and even if you do it offline, I would just love to see a column that shows the amount that is coming from the third parties, other entities, and then what is the total number of new units, not rehabbed? Because in my opinion, I don't believe the rehabbing is really the intent of 1590. I think the intent is to expand our existing stock. And so to me, that should be the emphasis is new construction. So I'm just wondering how many new units are we getting built?
Okay, and so I can provide that information. Do I just send it directly to you?
Offline would be just fine. Yeah, just an email or something would be just fine.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Was it the end of your slides, I think, too?
That's the
Yeah.
end of my slides. It's just a question. Yeah, there you go.
Great. Well, thank you very much for that update.
Okay, thank you.
That brings us to item 7, which was AWC update from Abby and Nicolette about what they learned at the AWC conference. But Abby is out, and Nicolette wanted to wait until she's back there, so we'll postpone that. Next, we'll go to our standing committee reports. So we'll start with the Housing Action Subcommittee. Councilmember Navarrete, do you have an update there?
Yeah, we had an open meeting on August 2nd to discuss the RFP process and get feedback on how it can be approved. It was attended by many service providers. Kim Babb presented on the current state and the next steps of the consolidated plan, and she has asked the HAS to fill out a community needs survey. Kim also presented on the fair housing plan. She went over goals and benchmarks, and Andres presented the homeless rights ordinance as well.
Any questions for Councilmember Navarrete? All right, next will be the Neighborhood Council Work Group. So Councilmember Cathcart, Dillon, Klitsky.
We haven't met since the last time we talked about this, and the next meeting is August 20th.
All right, we'll get an update in September. CHHS Board.
Yeah, we met last week, discussed some of the RFP recommendations, as well as just kind of give a council update around the Homeless Bill of Rights discussion, as well as the regional homeless plan. I was late to CHHS because we did have double booking with the regional homeless plan update. Happy to talk about that a little bit as well. We had a really good discussion, I think. Walked away with interest in developing an MOU for what a collaboration would look like. So some of our staff were tasked with getting that drafted, and then we'll be bringing that back up at the next meeting.
Great. Community Assembly, Councilmember Wilkerson.
Council President was unable to make it to the August meeting, but Nicolette attended in her stead, so she'll give an update during her presentation.
Great. Comp plan amendments are done for the year. Human Rights Commission.
Yeah, again, Andres gave an update on the status of the homelessness rights ordinance. Alex Gibilisco presented on some accomplishments and goals from his position as a manager of equity and inclusion. They also interviewed candidates for the SHRC, which was Earl Moore, Justice for All, and Mount Deeker Vu. And they also read through new resolutions to update the membership from 9 to 12 commissioners. It would reclaim the 9th position from a youth member back to an adult member and add 3 new youth positions, 1 from each council district.
Any questions? All right, Plan Commission.
So mostly at the Planning Commission last 2 meetings, we have been discussing the comp plan amendments, which we already, Councilmember Bingle and I were on the docketing committee, so it's a little bit of a repeat for me, but the issues that the Planning Commission seems to be curious about is whether or not some of these comp plan amendments actually need to go all the way up to commercial, or if they could do neighborhood commercial. And so there were some discussions back and forth with the project proponents, and the project proponents seemed pretty flexible. So we'll see how the final drafts of those shake out, but let me see, when is the next Planning Commission hearing? The next Planning Commission meeting will be on August 28th, and then those comp plan amendments will be going to hearing at that time. Or no, after that, actually, I'm sorry.
Public Partnerships has not met. Downtown Spokane Bid Board, Councilmember Bingle is gone. Downtown Spokane Partnership, Councilmember Cathcart.
At the last board meeting, I think the main conversation was around, some of the policy issues that we're talking about today, the homeless Bill of Rights, and there was some conversation around some of the landlord-tenant on the commercial side, just sharing concerns and some ideas there. But as far as just the inter-organization, there really is no major updates at this point. There will be, I think, another big community meeting with a great speaker coming up. I believe it's in September, so looking forward to that. But outside of that, there's really just no other pivotal things to share.
If they had specific feedback on the landlord-tenant stuff, can you share that with me, please?
Yeah, and I think they intend to, but
I think we're
I
going
will
to have a
remind
meeting scheduled, so,
Okay.
yeah, great. East Sprague Board, Councilmember Dillon.
Did not meet last month. I was not there. I apologize.
GMA Steering Committee of Elected Officials.
So we're getting into the nitty-gritty of figuring out our population projection theories. And so we're going to have to come to a regional agreement to make a recommendation to the county commissioners on how we want to do that. And I think our staff is kind of leading on that effort since they have the most experience. And so we hope that eventually their recommendation wins out. I think the other thing we did, I was on a subcommittee to talk about how we can add tribal participation. Looks like we're going to propose adding, or did we already approve it? I know the subcommittee did. We're proposing adding 2 seats to the steering committee of elected officials, one for the Spokane tribe and one for the Coeur d'Alene tribe. And sorry, I just started talking.
No, you're good.
Yeah, you hit it, I think, nail on the head. But yeah, it really is about that population growth, and we're going to continue to have some discussions and debate on that, but there's no consensus yet on what that'll look like, except that most likely we're going to go with a kind of a third version that's not exactly what has been prescribed. So there'll be more to come.
All right. Launch Northwest, I know that conflicts with STA for me, so I don't know if.
I did not, I was not able to be at the last meeting, so.
Yeah. Library Board,
We had a pretty brief meeting just with an update from the mayor about the kind of budget deficit and some discussion around the safety levy.
Park Board, don't know if anyone went for Councilmember Bingle, no. Priority Spokane,
I did miss that last one.
Regional Homeless Authority, already gave an update on, and Spokane Arts.
More discussion around the asphalt art program. It was really great to see the new project up by the Scoop over at 25th. And then, yeah, just kind of how do we kind of get more out there around First Friday.
And that brings up our council staff update with our Homelessness and Housing Initiative Manager, Nicolette.
Well, hello, welcome back to those of you who went away and even to those who didn't. It was quite busy while some of you guys were gone. Oddly, I thought there would be a little bit more time for all of us to take time off, but anytime I think there's going to be a boring day in City Hall, I'm shown to be quite wrong. So yeah, I'm just going to go through a couple of these things. Some of these things were already touched on in other updates. I did go to committee assembly, and I was terrified before I got there, but I was welcomed with open arms. I was really grateful for having already previously met many of the people that were in there, so that when I offered to go to various neighborhood councils to give an update or to listen to what they have to say about housing and homelessness in their area, some could kind of pipe up and say, yep, we've had her before, it's great, please take me up on that. That was really great. I do want to flag for you guys that one of the things that came up was a presentation on the consolidated plan, and knowing in advance that CDBG funds have been a source of contention among the neighborhood councils about why that funding was shifted previously from how it had been allocated to them in the past. I know that that's going to be something they're going to want more conversation on. And Dawn also acknowledged that during her presentation and said that they weren't prepared to answer some of those questions at that time. But I just wanted to signal to council members that there will be, I'm sure, a request to have that kind of update on the CDBG funding and what council's perspective is on how that's gone, specifically to the Community Assembly. We had a really excellent RFP process stakeholder feedback session, and this is one of these instances where I've been able to collaborate with CHHS and in particular with Ariel Anderson, and it went really, really well. It was huge attendance, and all of the big, players were in attendance, and sometimes it's hard to get them all. And not everybody was in one room. It was quite a number of virtual participants, but during the summer for a meeting like that, it was wild how many participants there were. And I'm going to be developing a more robust report that will include my notes and then, with their permission, some other staff notes that they took during that. And I anticipate that that won't be the only session that we'll have. I'm sure that there will be a lot of discussions about this process, but I think that they gave some really valuable feedback on that process. And we also got an update during that meeting that the procurement and CHHS are also working on drafting up a new appeal process to the RFP process that looks at a process put in place by Commerce and one other entity. I want to say maybe it was the county that they looked at their process, and they're going to be drafting one that they think will fit for the city of Spokane. With respect to the Homeless Bill of Rights, as people are sometimes calling it, but that ordinance, we did quite a bit of outreach. Andreas and I, we went out a couple of Fridays ago to about 14 different either shelters or pop-up cooling center sites to give them a copy of the ordinance and ask for their feedback. And Andreas was really good about also asking about their search policies, since that was the piece that would affect or impact the shelter itself. And as we went through, it didn't look as though any of those shelters would have been out of compliance with the recommendations on changing the search piece in the code. Just, I thought you might find that interesting. It was extremely hot that day, so we also visited some of the pop-up cooling tents. And, it was actually really impressive, too. We started at the first place we went to was one of the Jules Helping Hands warming center or cooling centers at the churches. And then as we went out throughout the day, we were all over town to all these different, we even went to UGM. I mean, we went all over town to all these different shelters. And we kept running into Jules Helping Hands street team cleaning up and handing out water. They had a cooling tent outside of House of Charity. They were cleaning up trash that wasn't anywhere near any of their services downtown in the Division corridor. It really was impressive to see a little bit of everybody everywhere. And even, in fact, one we hadn't planned on visiting, but a pop-up Chaz cooling site that was really great to see, and was able to chat with Tammy Myers from the health district. It was a joint health district and Chaz cooling tent. So it was awesome to see the community show up. And I had to take a water as well at one point because it was so hot. It was really hard to stay hydrated, and we were still in and out of cooled buildings, and it was still really hot. Okay, so then I also worked on a little bit of this mapping of the complaint process, and that was in part because of the Homeless Bill of Rights. I do have a slide to kind of show you what that looks like. And in case Chris was curious, I was able to get it onto one sheet, which must be important. Fair Housing Resolution, as Kim Babb spoke about, I drafted that resolution and then sent it to Chris for any edits and feedback. And again, another example of collaboration with the CHHS department. Homeless Coalition meeting, Councilwoman Navarrete and Councilman Bingle were guest speakers, and they did a really excellent job, in my opinion. Regional Homelessness Authority, there was already an update on that. One thing I did want to add to that update is that I would recommend council members suggesting to the county commissioners that at the Council of Governments meeting, which happens before the fair every year, that the agenda address the Regional Homeless Authority, if not as one agenda item, but maybe the whole agenda. Because I think it is time for us to go back and talk to all of the jurisdictions and all of the elected officials, and it's the only time they're all in one room at the same time. So I think that would be the kind of thing I would recommend with respect to that. Another thing I would recommend is you guys watch the meeting, and I can send the link out about the discussion. There was a discussion about integration versus collaboration. What would it look like to have MOUs or ILAs without standing up a PDA? And it was mentioned that it might be the quickest, cheapest way to go, but I heard my grandfather in my head. We've got speed, quality, and cost. Pick two. So I would be cautious against just because it's fast, just because it's cheap, doesn't mean it's going to be good. And so we have to have that in mind when we're talking about this. CHHS board, we already talked about that. Housing Action Subcommittee, she touched on that a little bit. several community meetings with community stakeholders with council members. So Zeke from Empire met with a few. Several of you guys met with Catholic Charities, and I attended those for very different reasons, which I was very surprised about. I had an excellent meeting with the budget director, and we kind of talked about what it would look like to capture the cost of doing nothing with respect to homelessness, because often those costs of emergency, response, whether it's SPD, fire, code enforcement, a lot of times those costs don't factor in when we think about how much we spend on homelessness, but it absolutely is a cost. And there had been a request to see what that looks like to the cost of fully enforcing Prop 1 or the cost of doing nothing. And so her and I met just to kind of talk about what that would kind of look like, and I kind of gave her some advice on my part of things and a little level setting with kind of what I do. I look forward to having another meeting with her in the future about 1590 and some other things. I did a lot of safe parking research with Jackson, and we would have presented that today during the AWC update, but look for that next week. And we created a really awesome table that shows what safe parking looks like throughout the state of Washington, and what features some have and what features they don't have, because it's actually pretty different from city to city, even though there are a lot of cities that do it. And then some research on VAD properties and highest and best use, because some council members may or may not be working on those things. I'm always reluctant to talk about too much what you guys are doing. Council President and I went to the Medical Lake City Council meeting, which was very fascinating, where Councilman Bingle apologized for any fear that he may have caused in virtue of some comments that were made with respect to the Pine Lodge. If you want to hear more about that, feel free to grab me later. I'm also developing a survey that was part of a request that came from the council work group, the internal work group, the 3 council members. And so in doing so, I've also been reviewing the draft, or that survey I did in 2023, in case I might want to recommend actually just putting that survey back out, because it was incredibly robust. But also then we would be able to look at that survey from 2023 and the results in 2024, and it would give us there's a shift, among stakeholders on their positions on these various things. But I'll be prepared to talk about that with you guys at any time that you'd like. And then preparing for this August 15th presentation, which is that mapping of the SMC on sit and lie, unlawful camping, and the siting of shelters, as well as the protections for people experiencing homelessness. I have also been in contact with GIS to do the geological, actual geographic, mapping of it, and reached out to them to see if they'd done that for Prop 1 before. They had something kind of worked up, and we've been talking about what it looks like to add some things to that map. So I'm hoping that we'll have at least a draft of that map to present on Thursday, as well as some additional really cool tools. And thank you, Councilman Dillon, for reaching out to SPD on sit and lie and pedestrian interference, because they have a really cool tool about reporting that data that I didn't know existed, and I'll also be pulling that up and got permission from SPD to pull that up on Thursday. And then planning a future town hall or town halls. It's unclear what we're going to do with Lisa Gardner for all of this stuff. And then I don't think I'm going to go in detail on a couple of the next slides, but if you want it, the next one is a flyer that we made to try to get people to come out, because we really want to get feedback on the human rights for people experiencing homelessness. And so there's that, and you can go to the next one. So I knew it was going to be an eye chart, so I found a graphic, so I knew that you couldn't see it. But it can flow all together, but if you go to the next one, Jacoby, you can just see how what this is it was a little bit confusing. Is there a process for a complaint to go through? Yes, is the answer. And then when we looked at the process, it was kind of confusing. And so after a meeting with Jarrell, Commissioner Peace, Councilwoman Navarrete, Andreas, Alex, and I, we started to literally map it out in 7B, and then this is kind of how things went. So I won't go through this in great detail, but if you guys do want a copy of it, I'll email this all out to you guys. And then the next slide just goes further down that list of what it looks like. I think it's much better for everybody when we can kind of workflow these out sometimes, especially when it's a complicated process. It's important for the public to know, what happens. It's important for you guys to know, and it's certainly important for the department itself to know. And next slide. I can't remember if I put anything else on there. One more. Okay, and so this is just a breakdown, like I was saying earlier, of the different core sections of the SMC that will be mapped onto that GIS mapping. But even that was kind of an interesting task to do, to try to break up. But to me, these are the categories that make the most sense. And if you guys disagree, I'd love to hear that, especially before Thursday. But sit and lie and pedestrian interference seem like they fit together to me. All the unlawful camping ones, including the ones on riparian areas, that makes sense altogether to me. The protections for people experiencing homelessness, that altogether, and then the siting of shelters. So that's kind of how my mind is blocking it out. But if you do have anything to say about those blocks, please let me know because it'll impact how I do my presentation on Thursday. And then, is there another one, Jacoby? Okay, that's it. Are there any questions or?
Questions for Nicolette? All right, thank you for that very thorough update. Almost as great as Mr. Wright's slides. All right, that concludes today's Urban Experience meeting. The next one will be on Monday, September 9th. Thank you.